Hey, what's going on, Generosity Forum? My name is Andrew June Donovan. Welcome to episode 38, how to strategize and maximize your 200 PV promo months. So doTERRA does this routine thing where every basically 3 to 4 months they do a 200 PV promo. And historically it happens every single December. There's a 200 PV special, order any 200 PV and you know what you get, free frankincense, right? And then usually they extend it for an additional 15 days into the following month. And it's not guaranteed, they make no promises, but every year that I've been in doTERRA, that frankincense promo happens. Hey, good to see you guys hopping on live. Would you give me a thumbs up and tell me that you can hear me and see me okay? Just to make sure that we're good with our connection. So I love 200 PV promo months. I'm gonna keep talking like you can hear me and see me because usually you can. Hey Robin, good to see you. So, okay, Robin, thumbs up, you can hear me, you can see me okay? You guys, 200 PV promo months are amazing because it is a huge abundance booster to your business. Oh, thanks, Colleen. Appreciate that. Do you guys, first of all, those of you that have been in doTERRA for a little while, what have been your favorite 200 PV promo months? I've seen a lot of cool things happen. I've seen a month where they did On Guard and Breathe was a 200 PV special. I saw a month where it was, well, I've seen several frankincense months. A couple of years they did a Deep Blue special, which was really neat. They did, one year it was huge. It was get a tube of Deep Blue rub and a Deep Blue roll-on. Not the touch, the actual 10 milliliter roll-on. So that was like a really valuable 200 PV promo month. Do you guys ever remember that one? They only did it the one time because it cost a lot of money for that. Hey, Selena. So this month, and I know that for future viewers, you're gonna come back and it's not gonna be the promo, but right now it's this. You guys, those of you that are US based, I don't know what the deal is in Australia or what the deal is in Canada, the UK, other English speaking countries, but in the United States this month, the 200 PV special is get a free Litsea and a free Manuka Touch. And these are two oils that you cannot purchase in the United States. So first of all, before I get into how to maximize your strategy for these 200 PV specials, because you guys, if you waste this opportunity, oh my gosh, these should be boosting your enrollment kits. You should be enrolling people with larger kits. You should be having way more LRP volume than normal, and you should be ordering more volume than normal just because this is incredible. So, oh, Canada's the same. Sweet. Congratulations, Canada. So I already had these two oils before this special, and I want to tell you how hard it was to get these because they're only for sale in Australia. So my friend Nana Ebihara, who lives in Australia, she bought these for me in Australia. Then they made their way to Japan, and then they made their way from Japan over to Long Beach, and I went from Utah to Long Beach, California to get my special oils that aren't for sale in the United States. So they made quite the trek across the planet, and they weren't cheap because, you know, like the taxes and blah, 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 it's all different. They weren't cheap. And to be able to just get these right now for free, that's like freaking amazing. And by the way, my friends that saw me getting these, oh, people were so antsy. I had a few friends that are like, what, you didn't order extra for me? And so I called my friend again and I'm like, can we get more? And it was a total pain in the butt to get them from multiple countries back to the US. And so now everybody can get access to these, I guess, until they run out. They haven't said they're gonna run out there. And you can see the Manuka comes in this beautiful box. Do you guys already have this, by the way? Have you already received these oils? So the box is lovely. It's this like soft touch finish. It's not a glossy box. And I'm not gonna open it because it's kind of complicated to open it. Oh, it's stickered shut anyway. But it's in a very pretty black bottle. And then the Litsea is this. And I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about what these are good for, but basically Manuka is for everything skin and sleep. And then Litsea has chemistry that's a little bit similar to lemongrass and melissa, so it's a really good anti-infectious oil, and among other things, it's a good mood booster too. So you guys can actually look in the Essential Oil Magic book where both of these oils already have pages, and you can find out what they're good for. So let me go through your comments here really fast. Colleen says, can't wait to get these. Oh, it's so fun. It's just so fun to see new stuff. Robin says, I had a hard time opening it. So fancy, yeah. Yeah, well, it's really cool. And you guys know that Manuka is a very pricey plant. Like if you get like Manuka organic honey, which my Costco has right now, it's like freaking expensive honey. It's crazy. So, okay, other things. Taylor says, yes, that was the best, or the Breathe Drops Oil and Rub. Oh yeah, that was a cool 200 PV special as well. So here's the deal, you guys. and Robin brought something up in a previous Facebook post, and Robin, I'm going to give you a shout out here because I loved what you shared. She is taking time right now to make sure that her customers have ideas for how to bump their LRP orders up. So before I go there, with these 200 PV specials, you can't assume that your customers and your new prospects that are going to enroll as customers, you can't assume that they understand the value of that 200 PV special. Most people know that free is a really good thing. You know, like during Christmas time, in December, in early January, if someone's enrolling with a Family Essentials kit and you say, if you enroll with a larger kit that's more than 200 PV, you get free frankincense, which is $93 retail value, $69.75 wholesale. Well, they hear that and they think, oh, well, that's a lot of free product. That's a lot of free money, in the form of product. So that's valuable. But you can't assume that they understand the actual value of the product they're getting. So for example, the frankincense, if they're at an intro to oils class, you probably just taught them what a badass oil frankincense is, right? So they're probably pretty clear on that, but don't assume. Do they know all the massive uses for frankincense? How you can use it for your mood and your boosting serotonin levels and to help with anxious feelings, and I'm trying to use compliant language here. And do they know how you can use it for like every skin condition and how you can use it to supercharge the efficacy of basically every other essential oil? And if they don't know that, they're not gonna necessarily connect with how cool it is to get that oil for free. So, like with these oils right here, the Litsi and the Manuka, you should Google and research what these oils are good for, or open up your essential oil magic book and read up on those pages because they're useful for a lot of things and in unique ways that other oils aren't necessarily useful. Plus, I will tell you a little secret. Exclusivity and scarcity are some of the biggest powerful motivators in marketing. So if you're marketing a new book, or if you're marketing, I don't know, like a special edition car, maybe you're a car salesman, just the fact that there's limited availability for whatever you're selling, whatever you're marketing, that limitation automatically makes people want it more. And so make sure that you're not just telling people, oh, you can get these free oils. Make sure they know these are not available in our country and they never have been in the past and nobody knows if they will be in the future. So get them now, and you cannot purchase these. You have to qualify for them. Do you see how I word that? You guys, I use scarcity. And you guys, it's a form of positive manipulation if you're doing it in an ethical situation. So like I use that kind of scarcity or that kind of limitation when I'm booking classes from classes at the end of my Intro to Oils class. Like I will hold up like a little 8-vial keychain and I'll tell them why they want it, why everybody has to have one of these, why it's so cool to have your favorite oils on the go, ready to go at all times. And then I tell them, you cannot purchase this from me tonight. You actually have to qualify for it. Now notice my language, I'm totally telling the truth, right? Like I don't say this isn't available for purchase anywhere. I say you cannot purchase this from me tonight because I don't have it there for them to purchase that night. And I say you have to qualify for it. And then I tell them that if they book a class from that class, book a class for me to host, then I give them that keychain, and then for each person that comes to the class, I'll put an oil in their keychain. So do you see how I'm using the limitation of that product to create urgency for them to get it? And it's very, very effective. So that's the first thing that you're going to want to do. Let's see, Robin says positive manipulation. That's what I do with my kids all the time. Wait, that's what marketing is, you guys. Marketing, sales, it's all positive manipulation, as is being a spouse, as is being a parent, right? So you just learned how to do it on purpose. So the first thing was expressing the scarcity. The second thing was expressing the value of the actual products. So like some of the things that I love about Manuka is, one, the fragrance is unlike anything else. You know, like when we get a new tree oil in doTERRA, like when Douglas fir came out, we already had white fir and you know, we had spruce in the form of holiday joy, and we were used to cedarwood already, so we were used to some tree oils. And Douglas fir is easily one of my top favorite oils. It wasn't that far out of the ballpark though. It wasn't that different than what other oils had. Manuka is completely different fragrance-wise. And then the way that you use it for sleep and for skin health, it's just different. And so you want to do some research and find out what makes it really special. And then I would do the same thing with Litsia. In fact, it's funny, the first time I opened it up, I remember smelling it thinking, oh, That smells like so similar to, it's like a hybrid between lemongrass and Melissa. And Dr. Who would probably listen to me say that and say, no, it's not even close to the same. It's not the same, it's unique, and you want to know why it's cool. So Wendy, hi, good to see you. Okay, so once you know why these are special, then let's talk a little bit about how to reach out to people and make sure that they know how to maximize this. So this is where I want to bring up what Robin mentioned in a previous Generosity Forum post. You guys, you know that some of your customers just aren't used to ordering doTERRA products as ravenously as you do. So when I place my LRP order every month, like, yeah, I mean, literally it's this process of whittling a 350 PV order down to like 200 PV and saying, I don't need all of that, right? Chill out, Andrew. And right now it's just me and Jeffrey. We don't even have kids, and we order at least 200 PV every single month just for us. And for us, it's Lifelong Vitality Pack ×2, Terrazyme ×2, PV Assist ×2, and then I'll usually throw in a Mido2 Max, a Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, and then we'll look at our oils and say, do we need any other oils? Like I ran out of Neroli Touch the other month, and so I needed extra of that. But all of that, for me, it's so easy to bolster up a big order. But don't assume that your customers are thinking like that, right? Sometimes you look in your back office and you see a customer who places a 75 PV order, which is actually the average LRP order company-wide. And sometimes we have customers that place a 5 PV order because they're just trying to maintain their points. And when I see those, it's usually safe to assume, but I can also go in the back office and see what people are ordering every month. It's safe to assume that people that are placing more modest LRP orders aren't taking advantage of supplements. And so, what do we do strategy-wise here? This is a strategy that I call scrubbing your team. You go through your team, and if you've got a big team, you have to do this with your leaders because it's unrealistic to do it yourself. But if you've got a small team of 50 people or smaller, you can totally do this on your own. If it's bigger than 50, get with your builders and say, how can we divvy up the work? But you go through and you list all the customers out and get their phone numbers and their email addresses. And the most effective way to scrub your team is through a phone call. And I'm going to repeat this because some of you guys are going to be lazy and you're going to email your teams and you're going to waste it, all right? And I use my words very intentionally, and it was a little bit mean, and it was on purpose, because email is the most ineffective way to communicate with your team. You know that when you email your team, you're going to be lucky if 5% of people even open the email. Do you understand that? Thumbs up, good. So you guys are thumbs upping my bluntness. So some of you guys are going to be tempted to go and just be lazy and email your team and think, oh, I announced the 200 PV special. You guys, doTERRA already emailed your team, all right? And they emailed them better than you're going to email them because they put pretty graphics in their email and you might not know how to do that, all right? The most effective way to scrub your team, Tara says, I love your straight shooting, is to call, all right? And so you can even call this a calling tree. That's what Patrick and Lee Shedevy call it. And you list out all the customers, and you especially note the people that are placing smaller LRP orders, all right? If you've got a customer that habitually places a 150 PV order, send them a text message and, tell them you got to make sure that you just add a few things on so you get those free oils, and they probably will. But for all the people that are placing smaller orders, it's going to be your job to help make sure that they know how they could bolster up their order. And the easiest way to do this is actually a wellness consult, a second wellness consult. So my favorite way to maximize a 200 PV month is to scrub the team and offer extra wellness consults. And scrubbing your team looks like this. You call up a customer and you say, hi, Selena, how are you? It's Andrew. And she says, oh, I'm doing so well. And I say, okay, I was thinking about you. And I just wanted to call and say thank you for being a loyal customer on our team. And I was wondering, what are your favorite oils? And then I'm just building rapport, and she tells me, oh, I love On Guard and I love Breathe. And I say, oh yeah, those are so cool too. What do you use it for? And she says, I use Breathe for sleeping, diffusing it next to my husband because he snores so loud, right? And I say, okay. So I wanted to connect a little bit, and I also wanted to make sure that you know that there are some presents available to you from doTERRA this month. Have you had a chance to see the email they sent out? And frequently they say no. And I say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I called you then. So this month, there's a special where if you place a 200 PV order, any order, you get 2 free oils. And I tell her what the oils are good for and why she's gonna want them and why they're we have limited access to them because they're not even from our country, right? And then I say, So with some of the things that you're working on your health-wise in your family, I thought, I wonder if Celine wouldn't love another wellness consult where I could just sit down, we could spend a few minutes talking about some protocols, and if we have some products that you need for your family to work on those wellness goals, well, that could boost you up to the 200 PV level where you get those free oils. Would that be cool? And then I set up a time for a wellness consult, and that's my phone call. And then I schedule the wellness consult. So whether you use that format, which, that works for me because it's my personality, or whether you do something else. Like I know that a presidential diamond, Heather Matta, she likes to call people up and she likes to say, I wanted to call and thank you for being a customer and also to offer you a free gift. And then she just offers everyone she calls a free, like little 5 ml wild orange bottle or something that's modest in price that she can send out to a lot of people. But notice my version, I didn't even offer her anything for free. I said that the presents, the free things, are from doTERRA. And then she got the gift from me, which is a wellness consult. And I made sure to make it all about her. You guys notice that it's not about my agenda to sell her more stuff. And that's a place I see people get tripped up on a lot. You call your customer up, if you're even bold enough to call your customers up, because so many of you guys are still going to ignore my advice and you're going to email your freaking customers and waste your time, all right? But some of you might still call your customers up because at least you listen to me, that part of this Facebook Live, and then you make it all about you and your agenda to move the 200 PV promo. And it's not a great way to connect with people because they can tell that you're talking about you instead of caring about them. Does that make sense to you? And so what you might be tempted to do will be to make it all about the special and all about, oh my gosh, you've got to take advantage of this. And yeah, all the things that I talked about with these, these special oils, of course you want to talk about that, but you have to turn it back to why your customer cares. And so like in my little example, I took some time at the beginning of this phone call, and you guys, these calls are like 3 to 5 minutes, maybe even 2 minutes. They're super short. Right? But I take a few seconds to build some rapport and find out, I was wondering, what are your favorite oils? What are you using them for? And then now I know how to relate this idea of let's do another wellness consult back to what her priorities are. Because in the process of her telling me what her favorite oils are, On Guard and Breathe, I'm asking, what are you using them for? And she tells me, and then I say, oh my gosh, we should do another wellness consult. I was thinking that might be valuable for you because I'd love to strategize and make sure that you're getting great results, and there might be some things that you could use in doTERRA that would help with those goals that you might not be aware of right now, and it's possible that the products you would use for those, they might even bump you up to the level where you could get these special oils that you're gonna want for sure for free. Do you see that? So it's all about her. And that's why these phone calls are actually less scary, because when you call someone up to sell them more stuff, you should totally feel scared because you're being stupid, all right? And you should feel scared about being stupid, okay? But when you call somebody up with the intention of connecting with them, with relating to them, and with being authentic in the way that you guide them to more of what they're looking for, oh my gosh, you should feel so comfortable with that because you're just being a nice human being. You're just being a good friend. You're just doing your job as a wellness consult that you promised to do before. Does that make sense to you? I'm glad you guys laugh at all the smarmy things that I say. Love this idea. This was perfect. So, okay, totally agree. Don't use email either. And you guys, I'm not saying don't email people. You can, if you want to email your customers every week or every month, fine, okay? It's just the open rates are so abysmally pathetic that it's almost guaranteed to not be an effective way. And because doTERRA already emails your customers on the 1st and 15th of every month, I mean, for me, I just let doTERRA do that, and then I focus on the relationship side of things, because that's something doTERRA can't do for me. Does that make sense? So whether it's phone calls or interacting with my customers in the team Facebook group or interacting with my customers in Oil Camp, I focus on the relationship side of things. And that is the best way to strategize with these 200 PV promo months. And by the way, when you're looking at this process of scrubbing your team, it's really wise to have a couple of times a year, at least once a year, when you do this kind of team scrub. And since we know that every December is a 200 PV promo month, and January can tend to be a low volume month, that might be a great time to do a team scrub, you know, where you let the December 200 PV promo happen, and then in the first and second week of January, when business might slow down a little bit, that's when you and your builders go through and you scrub your team and reconnect with all of your customers and do extra wellness consults and help people set up their New Year's health resolution plans. Or like during the summertime, right now. Why do you guys think doTERRA chose to do a 200 PV promo in the middle of summertime? It's because some of you guys experience a slowdown in your business because people are traveling, they're doing vacations, and you buy into that and use that as an excuse for your business to slow down. For me, my business doesn't slow down because I don't buy into that story. But for those of you who do buy into that story, doTERRA says, well, we're going to use their 200 PV promo to jumpstart their businesses. So that is a great time to do a team scrub because, you know, historically, maybe your business slows down a little bit. And so since you're not doing as many classes necessarily, well, substitute in a team scrub instead. So you guys are laughing. I'm glad you laugh with me. So that's how you strategize for 200 PV promos. Just to review, for those of you that hopped on late, 1, use the scarcity because scarcity is a powerful motivator. First of all, 200 PV promos, they don't happen very often. All right, you're getting a lot of free stuff, and sometimes you get products that are not available for purchase any other time of the year. So, or that you've never even seen before in your entire life, right? So the scarcity is a powerful motivator. 2, know why the products are valuable. If it's a 200 PV promo with a whole bunch of On Guard products, figure out amazing creative ways to use those, okay? And then 3, connect with your customers in a way that you know you'll actually connect with them. Email's not a reliable way. Facebook Messenger, text message, better. Phone call, very, very best, because you know that you'll actually connect with them. And use that connection to relate to what their needs are. Offer another wellness consult. Figure out how to help them bolster up their order. You guys, if someone gets on a protocol for them and their spouse, I mean, guaranteed it can be a 200 PV promo or a 200 PV order because every protocol should include Life on Vitality. And if you do that times 2 people and add on 2 oils, boom, you're now at 200 PV, right? So connect with them. That's the 3rd thing. And I really recommend scrubbing your team and offering additional wellness consults. So I have someone on my team right now. We just did her strategy call today, and one of her main goals, besides finding some new builders that we're going to launch very effectively, is to scrub her team. And it's a great idea because she hasn't done this ever. And there's a lot of customers that place no LRP orders or place small LRP orders. And what I love about this builder, her name's Corey Pevney, she's awesome, she's actually my mom, is she cares so much about people that I know when she calls them, they're really gonna feel that she's there to just be a good support person for them. That's what you wanna take to your connections. So, okay, let's see, Robin says, I also get them to think of who else needs oils, like kids going off to college, upcoming baby shower, teacher gifts, etc. Robin, you're so good. Are you guys taking notes here? That's awesome, because yeah, sometimes when they're thinking about their doTERRA order, maybe they're only thinking about their child, which is why they got into doTERRA to begin with. Or maybe they're only thinking about themselves, which is why they first started using oils. But yeah, if you can get them thinking about their parents, maybe they have a parent that has some aches and pains that they could use oils for, or some gifts that are upcoming, weddings, baby showers, teacher gifts, all that. Robin, very good. So, all right, you guys, any other ideas you have for how to maximize 200 PV promos, write them in the comments. Your peers, other wellness advocates would love to see them. Those of you guys that watch the recording, feel free to hop in and leave some comments too about what you're doing to maximize 200 PV promo months. And you guys, right now, run to town with this one because this is the best one I've ever seen in my 5 years in doTERRA. So, all right, time to go. Ta-ta for now. Mwah. Love you guys, and I will see you later. Bye, everyone.